We are live.
Are we live?
When I'm in charge, I just say it. I say it with confidence. Nothing's wrong. Everyone can hear us, for sure. I assume. Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Molly's building today the most exciting set ever of all time. The Lars Homestead Kitchen.
Yay.
Which does for... I am pretty psyched it comes with a Baru minifig.
Yeah, and so when I took it all out of the box earlier, I was looking at Baru. She has, I'm pretty sure, the same hairpiece as Luke.
Yeah, I think so. Also, you put her legs on backwards.
What?
Yeah.
Well, she's wearing a dress. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to be like it's flowing behind her.
I had it flowing in front of her.
And,
okay.
And you cheated and you started building the set before we went live. You built Baru already?
This isn't the set. This is a minifig.
I would never.
Alex, this is a LEGO minifig if you've never seen one before.
Making sure. Andy said, what did Alex say? And now I'm like, wait, can they hear us? They can. They can hear us. Hello, everyone.
How's it going?
We are good. We are refreshed after a almost 4-hour stream last night.
Almost.
We're back for this was honestly this will probably be a short set. We'll see.
We'll see. You never can tell with me building because I just take my sweet time.
It's less than 200 pieces.
Hi, bud.
But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Molly can finish it.
It's a lot of white and tan pieces.
Wanted to say happy birthday to Matthew Turner, who in the chat just said, "It is my birthday."
Happy birthday, Matthew. Hope
it's been a good one.
Who is our stream sponsor today?
Johnny C is our stream, so I should have asked you. Because I'm in the driver's seat over here, and usually you ask me, so I should have asked you.
Well,
put you on the spot.
I wouldn't have known.
I looked it up. Johnny C. Thank you so much, Johnny C. Books and comics. I don't know if they're here yet or if they will be tonight. They're in the chat quite a bit. Oh, there they are. Yep. Yay me.
I did want to bring up the letter that we got in our P.O. box.
Oh, yeah, I have that over there because Pippin kept trying to attack it. From Jamie Black. Ow.
Yeah. Got a really, really sweet letter. I'm pretty sure the name is Jamie Black. I want to make doubly sure. Jamie Black. So thank you so much. That was a really sweet thing for us to read. I was reading it on my way home. I was sitting in traffic, and it's a long letter, but I managed to read it while I was sitting in traffic and teared up a little bit.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. Thank you, Jamie. I won't read it all because it was somewhat personal and also 4 pages. But it was very nice. I read the whole thing.
And they
it was
sent
very,
us,
very sweet.
So they used to have a bar, like a Star Wars themed bar in New York, and they sent us recipe cards for some drinks.
We gotta one of these days we'll make one of those cocktails and have them here.
I would love to do that.
Cocktails of the Jedi.
Coming soon. To our kitchen.
Podcast of the Wills is in the chat. What's up? It's also their birthday. Happy birthday. Cheers.
So many birthdays.
Put a little drink emoji in there.
Cheers. Hilo would like you to think it's his birthday, but it is not.
No. It's been 5 months since your birthday, Hilo. So you gotta settle down.
He's like, I will not. Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying that they really enjoyed our Andor stream yesterday. Alden always has really good takes, so had a lot of good conversations yesterday. But if you have any more questions about Andor, about the Acolyte, about this potential Studio Ghibli project, fire away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have no idea what that's about. I had some anime and animation friends texting me today that aren't like Star Wars friends, but they were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "I have no idea. I know what you know."
Yeah.
Or Andy texted me and said, "If you knew about this and didn't tell me, I am disowning you as a friend." But I did not know about it until this morning. Well, I assume it's a tease that they will be a part of Star Wars Visions Volume 2.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense, but I don't know.
That's honestly, like, when I saw it this morning when I woke up, I was like, oh yeah, that's Visions. I thought we knew that already. I don't know where I got that. I guess wishful thinking maybe, but I thought we'd already heard that they were going to be a part of Vision Season 2. And we don't even know if that's what that is. They could be doing a whole separate project.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
That would be great. I guess I'm tempering expectations and thinking it'll be something smaller. But
yeah.
And Podcast of the Will said we need to do a cocktail stream with us and Holly Frey.
Oh,
and
yeah.
our friend Holly, who actually we recently found out lives like around the corner from us.
She lives very close to us and has invited us to come check out her Star Wars bar. So we gotta plan that.
Check out her Twitter, which I believe is Surliest Girl, before Twitter explodes and everything. But she just finished like a full-on addition to her house, and it is a Star Wars cantina called Cabe's Cantina. It looks awesome. So yeah, I want to go over there.
It really looks cool, and it made us consider, like, what would it take to put a little extra room on the side of our house for a little Star Wars bar. That'd be a lot of, and it looks like a lot of work went into theirs, so I don't know that we could handle that.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know where we would put it.
Well, no, we'd have to build an extra room onto our house for it.
Yeah.
But I did think about doing that and then putting in like a secret door, so it would be like a bookshelf where you pull one of the books and it like opens up. I've always wanted one of those.
Me too.
I just noticed the little minifig of Baru gets closer to the
Yeah,
end.
little progress. I love that they started doing that. That's a new thing, but they give you a little progress bar so you know how far through you are.
Oh.
It's nice. And, okay, Nick, I knew it was you. I just didn't want to, some people don't love to have their names thrown around, but hey, Nick. This is the Hop Raider IPA. This has become my new streaming beer, I guess, just because it has a little Indiana Jones skeleton man on it. I love it.
It's, is that New Realm?
Voodoo.
Right, yeah.
Voodoo Ranger,
New Belgium Voodoo. They always have that, like, skeleton guy on there, but this one has him dressed up as Indy.
But let's hop into some questions. We got a couple super chats. Thank you, Shaq Fu, for starting us off. If prisoners were secretly being shipped to another prison, how was the next prison controlling them once they got there? So that's come up a few times of like, what was the mistake? How did someone all of a sudden, like, have they been doing this for a while, recycling prisoners, and it just finally got out, or what? I think the mistake was that they jumped the gun. That's how I'm interpreting it. That they didn't mean to recycle someone from level 4 to level 2 when they did. I think they wanted to get some more guards, and then they would be ready to just keep people there forever.
So, could it be that they were recycling them to other buildings? Because when we see that planet, there are other whole ships. I want to call them ships. I don't know if they can fly, but whole ships around. So I thought that they were just transferring them to more of those, and one person got transferred to the same one on accident.
It's possible, but like that still brings up the same question. Like, what if someone got transferred into their building and he was like, I was just in prison over there? Like, maybe this person was supposed to be transferred off planet to another prison where they were just more equipped to handle all of these very upset people. Mm-hmm. They're already upset because they're in jail, and then they found out that they're going to stay in jail. So
it's hard to figure out like what they thought was going to happen with the plan of just cycling prisoners around like that. Like, they had to have known that somehow people would find out what's happening and riot, which just goes to show the Empire and their pride getting in the way with their ability to logically do anything.
Andor, Cassian says something like, more guards are going to come. You know that they will. So I think that more guards was always part of the plan of like, all right, we're just going to keep prisoners in the system. Let's staff up to make sure that we can control all of those people. So that's my guess. I think it is still ambiguous. It's unclear what the actual mistake was.
Right.
But that's how I interpret it. Right, Laserbolt. Kind of the only way to make it work is if everyone is supposed to be transferred to the same place. They're all in the same boat, and then I mean, even then, once they find out what's happened, they might all revolt together, but having one person be like, yeah, this is what they're about to start doing, and you found out a little early, like, that's what I think happened.
Yeah.
And Shaq Fu has a second super chat. Thank you, Shaq. Great username. This is an important question, Molly, for you specifically. Would Molly accept a cameo role in Star Wars if her character was going to be really evil and mean towards Grogu?
No.
If they
Absolutely not.
offered you to be one of the scout troopers in season 1?
No. I would never. I could never bring myself to.
I'm trying to like put myself into their headspace. Like,
Actually, no. I would accept the role. I would get to set, and I would just refuse to do it. That way, I still get to meet him.
burn all those bridges. Honestly, I thought you were gonna say something worse, and that you would kidnap him, screaming one way out the whole time.
I mean, you're giving me great ideas.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine what it must have been like for Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally, who were like, oh, we're going to play stormtroopers in a Star Wars. And then they get there, and then they had no idea in production what Grogu was. So then they're like, oh my God, it's a baby Yoda. And then they're like, hit it.
We have to punch it?
Yeah, punch the puppet.
No way.
And also, they didn't have the full context of, us all seeing and falling in love with Baby Yoda. So then it gets to their scenes and they're just like wailing on him.
I wonder if their kids, if they have kids, if their kids saw that and was like,
how could you?
I'll never forgive you.
Yeah. Well, at least they kept the helmets on.
Or maybe they just didn't tell their kids that was them because they have helmets on. So yeah.
Risa Ronan wants to know if I would accept being cast as the TIE pilot who blows up Biggs. Oh, that's a tough choice. I kind of think I would. If that were my one shot. Like, it's still tied to Biggs, and it's kind of hysterically ironic. I think I would do it. Sorry, Biggs. Don't listen to that.
Can't believe you.
Austin Primo, thanks for the next super chat. Hey, Alex and Molly, love your channel. Thank you. Have you heard of the series William Shakespeare's Star Wars? I have, and speaking of big, I have not read them. I think I have them all.
The books?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have them downstairs.
Oh, that's where they are? Okay. Mm-hmm. We have them all. The only segment I have actually read, I think I read The Tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise, but I also read Biggs's death. Which he actually,
what was that like?
It's kind of cool. Like, he gets a decent amount of speaking time, of lines in the book.
But they're all Shakespearean.
Yeah. I can't remember what the lines are, but he says something kind of poetic before exploding and like kind of inspirational to Luke, if I'm remembering correctly.
Adorable.
I know Dragon Con does every year. They will have a table read of one of the Shakespeare Star Wars, and everyone, like, people play different roles, and so they all go up and they just read it, that's pretty fun. We've never been. We should do one.
Yeah, that would be fun to do. I've never read for a Shakespearean play.
Did you ever do like a table read in middle school or something?
Yeah, but I don't think we did any Shakespeare. We did other plays.
I remember...
Hilo.
Oh, what you got? I remember playing. I don't remember the character's name in Romeo and Juliet. Paul Rudd played him in the the Leonardo DiCaprio version. What was that character?
That's not his name.
Who?
I said Toulouse. That's not his name. That's one of the cats' names in Aristocats.
Oh. It's the guy that is like betrothed to Juliet, or kind of like they introduce them. Count Paris, that's it. Maddie Gunner knows. I think that's right.
Which house was he?
I don't know. He was just like some outsider.
Oh.
He wasn't one of the Capulets or the Montagues. He was someone else. But that's who I played.
I hated reading out loud in school, so like I avoided any version of it. And I certainly avoided any kind of, like, I wasn't in drama. I had a lot of friends that did drama, but I never wanted to be on stage doing anything. Except now talking about Star Wars.
This is different, though. I mean, we've talked about this before, but I'm just casually flicking cat litter off the table because Pippin jumped up here.
No.
Pippin jumps up here, knocks Lego pieces off the table, and leaves kitty litter on the table. So that's cool of him. So yeah, we're over here. We're currently talking to 183 people, which is super cool. Thanks everyone for being here. But it doesn't really feel quite that terrible.
No. Well, it's not as scary.
Yeah, not as scary. Yeah.
We're just in our house talking to a camera. But at Star Wars Celebration, when we did our live podcast, we went into the room and I was like,
yeah.
there's so many people here.
Which is probably about the same amount of people. I'd say 200 or so in that room.
I went through all the stages. I was like hot and sweaty, and then I got the chills, and then I was like, like, get over yourself and do this and pretend like you're just talking to the camera.
Well, it was nice to go through, like, we were doing that raffle and we didn't organize that very well, but to like go and we were handing out tickets and to be like, oh, this room is full of people that we know or like us at least.
Did have a lot of close friends there.
Speaking of, as I talk about doing the raffle, Andy Blanchard just popped in with a super chat. Thank you, Andy. But Andy was such a trooper giving out raffle tickets. You did a great job.
We did not do that smoothly whatsoever. So next time, hopefully, we can have a better plan for that.
Yeah. Or we don't, and we still just make Andy do it, and we just shove a bunch of tickets in his hands and make him sweat. He said, I don't want to talk about that day. He, like, the rest of that weekend, he kept finding raffle tickets in his pockets and stuff. And just, like, reminders.
Ooh, speaking of raffling stuff, because a lot of the stuff that we raffled off that day was from, like, Gentle Giant. Do you want to do the 12 days of giveaways that I talked about?
Oh, well, now you're kind of forcing my hand, aren't you?
I want to do it.
Well, we just have to figure out what we have and how to accomplish that. But yeah, I think that's a fun idea.
Yeah, for the holidays in December, I wanted to do 12 days of giveaways because we have a lot of stuff, a lot of Gentle Giant statues.
Gentle Giant very, very nicely will send us stuff. Like, I did pre-order this one. I pre-ordered Biggs, but then they sent me one early, so that's that one, and then I did a giveaway and sent to the pre-order to the winner. So, but we have a decent amount of just Gentle Giant stuff, like, and it's just taking over our house too. But we have like this Death Trooper that we would probably raffle off.
Death Watch.
Or yeah, excuse me. Death Watch.
Jeez, Mr. Star Wars explained over here.
Star Wars kind of knows it.
Yikes.
12 Days of Life Day. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ooh, I can't wait for Life Day. When is that? What day is that?
November 17th is the kind of anniversary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's next Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, that we're doing trivia that night.
Yeah. We'll figure something out.
We could wear our robes to trivia.
That's a good idea. Bricks and Blocks is in the chat. Says, from a real-life Lego Master model builder, build and dream big.
Aww.
Well, that's a lot of pressure. Thank you, Bricks and Blocks.
I will build and dream big. I'll try.
We've dreamed and built bigger before.
Oh,
This is a nice little easy set.
I've never built anything without instructions, though. I will say that.
Oh, Ash Zieg, thanks so much for joining the Biggs Mega Fans.
Hey!
Thanks for becoming a member. And enjoy your... I still need to make some more emojis and stuff. And Ryan, when on earth did they make this set? This came with something. This was like a bonus set that...
Yeah,
I think it came with the land speeder.
that makes sense.
I think it was when I went to the Lego store to get the UCS land speeder. I believe this came with that. So I don't even know if you can buy it on its own. I'm not sure.
Sorry, you said Ash Sieg. Oh, okay. I just followed her on Twitter. She does Star Wars TikToks,
Oh, cool.
and I think she's starting a YouTube channel.
Nice. Well, hello there, Ash Sieg. Let's go over to Power Rangers Rock.
Hell yeah.
We should make Power Rangers Explained. Not us, you. Had a root canal yesterday, now waiting for work. I'm sorry. That all sounds sad.
Sad.
You had a root canal?
Oh yeah.
How was it?
I think I've had 2.
I'm
Wait,
probably going to have to get one at some point, but
You have to go to the dentist
yeah,
first.
I know. And then they'll be like, you need a root canal.
I mean, you would know if you needed a root canal. It would hurt. How was it? It sucked.
Okay. I figured that would be the answer.
They don't give you really, well, no, they don't give you anesthesia for that. They just numb everything. But just the amount of drilling in your mouth. Ugh. But they have gotten better. Like, I think the technology has gotten better to where it doesn't take very long.
That's good. I don't want to talk about teeth stuff.
I
don't know why I brought this up.
I've had a lot of dental work, so nothing scares me anymore. Just pull all my teeth out and give me metal teeth. I don't care.
You want to be Jaws from James Bond?
Yeah. I don't want to have to brush my teeth. Just... I mean, I will because I don't want stanky breath, but I don't want to have to take care of my teeth.
Root canals explained. No, thank you. Amaranthus, my boss is probably wondering why I have my headphones on and am grimacing. Yeah, we can move away from the teeth talk. Power Rangers Rock, I'm sorry that you had to have root canals, but we're glad you're here. I hope you have some painkillers.
Ooh, that is one upside to getting, like, severe dental work. Give you that Percocet.
Movie Guy 24, thank you for the next super chat. Is Baru pouring blue milk the best deleted scene? The GoPro is still dead, and I forgot to charge the batteries, so I replaced the GoPro area with just Baru in the kitchen. But when I was looking for images, I did see one from the deleted scene.
That's a deleted scene?
It's just a little more of her in the kitchen, like just a little extra stuff they shot. It's nothing huge. Which is why I would say that Baru pouring blue milk is not the best deleted scene. It's probably one that it was like, yeah, let's definitely lose this.
Does this have
We don't need it.
a little blue milk in it?
It better.
I don't think... Oh, yeah, it does. It's just like this little square. It's like a carton of milk. But she's got like a little spoon and a whisk and what looks like a liquor bottle, which is understandable.
What do you think Baru likes to drink?
Whiskey. Straight up.
A little teapot. This is cute.
She has a little Irish whiskey in her blue milk in the morning. Just a little nip.
Space Kahlua.
Get her through the day.
This is neat. This has some cool little pieces to it.
Yeah, I like this thing. It's like some like dials and buttons and stuff on the in the kitchen.
Oh yeah. Andy said she needs her rifle to complete the set, and we were joking about giving her like a giant blaster. So we need to do that.
Oh yeah, her rifle. I forgot about that. We gotta have to hide it in the wall somewhere.
Easy.
Or I'll just put it out on the table.
I have the Mandalorian's disruptor rifle back there, so we'll just brew in the kitchen, glass of blue milk in one hand, and a disruptor rifle in the other. She's here to drink blue milk and kick ass, and she's all out of blue milk.
Perfect.
Elliot Finn, thank you for the next super chat. Happy almost Friday. I need a Lego Luthen's ship. That would be a good set.
Yeah, I could see them making that.
I could too, especially...
I'm surprised they haven't put out any more Andor sets, because they had the one on Ferrix, and that was it.
I don't even know what that little shuttle's up here somewhere. There's the speeder bike. We just have too much stuff at this point. But yeah, especially knowing, I won't get into spoilers or anything, but from the trailers, we have seen that ship do more stuff. And I think that it would be fun to have like that ship, but then also little surprises that come with it. I think they could make some fun moving pieces to that.
A little mixing bowl.
If you wanted another Andor set, what would it be?
B2EMO.
Yeah.
Just a big one of him.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was gonna be what I said.
Or...
Ooh, the
Cassian in the shower.
The little hotel room set. I was gonna say, what was I gonna? Oh, the tower on Ferrix with the time grappler.
That's a good one.
I'd take the ISB, like little room. Yeah. That just
full of minifigs. And all their faces are like.
That reminds me, we started watching Taskmaster because it's free on YouTube, and I've had a bunch of friends tell me that it's fun to watch. We just got to season 2, and Blevins in it. So I had no idea that he was a comedian as well. I remember when he popped up in Andor, people were like, "Oh my God, it's Doc Brown in Star Wars," and I was like, "No, Christopher Lloyd is in The Mandalorian season 3." I was so confused. But then I was like, "Molly, do you recognize him from Andor?" And then I'm trying to remember all the names that you threw out as you eventually got to Blevin. First you said it's Belvedere. No, Bevlin. No, Blelvor. Like
Bertrude.
You had the B. You had the V. You had all the letters. You just had to get them in order.
Belvedere was my first guess, though. And I might just stick with that from now on.
Maddie, Justin, I am quite enjoying Taskmaster. I've seen clips from it a bunch.
It's pretty funny. I feel like I had a bad intro to it because the first time you put it on, it was super, super late, and I was trying to go to sleep. And I was like...
And I kept laughing and shaking the bed.
How long is this going to be on? But it is really funny.
Molly's allowed to turn on her like crocodile reality TV while I'm trying to sleep, but heaven forbid I put Taskmaster on.
I have to know what Big Ham Sandwich is doing. Or what was his name?
Something like that.
The big gator's name was like... It's not Ham Sandwich.
It sounded more like Ham Hock or... I can't remember.
I put like... I like to watch nature shows or like animal documentary type stuff at night because it's kind of soothing to me. And one day I was like, oh, a show about this Australian family and how they rescue huge alligators.
Yeah, they basically relocate giant crocodiles from civilized areas
Was it
back into the wild. They're crocodiles.
Crocs or gators?
It was called like Crocodile Mile or something like that. Crocland, or I can't remember. But Jane was like, what is crocodile reality TV?
It's pretty entertaining. I mean, it's cheesy, but all reality TV is. I gotta find the name of it now.
Ooh, I like... Okay, so Jane and Andy both have good Lego set suggestions. Jane says Mon Mothma Dinner Party set. I think that's a great one. And it could be kind of like the Cantina. Another one that just has a ton of minifigs. And Sly Moore should be listed on the box, but not included. That's what I think.
Wild Croc Territory is the name of the show on Netflix.
I was way off.
Yeah.
And then Andy suggested Cyril Karn and Mother Breakfast set, which honestly could be something exactly like this. Just a tiny little contained set. I like that idea too.
I like the idea of having a Black Series figure, or like a doll set of Cyril and his mom, and the mom has a pull string of just insults and terrible things that she says to him, and his just has a slurp sound that plays when he's like drinking his
I love
cereal
that
milk.
part. He just shoves his whole face in that bowl. But we'll move on to Brandon. Thank you for the next super chat. Just finished reading Brotherhood, and it was great. Sister, the clone, may be my new favorite character. Do you think she could appear in live action ever? It's always one of those could.
I mean, maybe.
There's always hope, but
I thought of Bad Batch, but I don't know that she would have made it that far.
yeah, we don't know. Oh, that's a good question. I wonder if... Yeah, it's like all the clones have such a scary potential end.
But
And I don't think that she... Like, the Bad Batch were, like, specifically maybe purposefully mutated, whereas Sister did not get that. So I that's why their chips didn't work. I think Sister's chip probably worked, and now I'm like, I'm worried about Sister.
yeah. Cute.
It's more a question of, like, are we going to get more live-action clone stories? But they've been kind of touching on it this year, but I don't think anything in the immediate future is going to be a live-action Clone Wars story.
I mean, could you imagine, like, Tamir Morrison just doing a one-man show?
I mean, yeah, the Bad Batch, but in in live action.
Yeah. Now I'm imagining him in drag, which I bet he'd be psyched to do.
There was a video that someone found or put out the other week. I think it was in the past few days.
Him on the beach?
Him on Hawaii, like walking around with pages, and everyone's like, what are you reading for?
He's practicing his lines on the beach, just like a baller.
I would be just like casually hanging out behind him, like sipping on something, trying to hear what he's saying. The Polynesian spa.
That's how he stays so young looking.
Brian Ferreira, thank you for the next super chat. Does Andor hand-wave morality in the prison arc? Regardless of the PORD policy, I'm sure many prisoners belonged there and now they're free. I guess that's an interesting question. We don't know how many prisoners in the prison should have been there. I think that we should believe that everyone in there was basically like Cassian, just people who'd been rounded up. But
arrested for something stupid and that they didn't really do.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get us on to the prisoners' sides. So I think that if they they definitely would have broached that if they intended for that to be the story, I think. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like Andor or Tony Gilroy is the kind of head writer to lean away from that.
I think
But-
that's. I mean, sure, some of those people probably did bad things, but that was not the point of the prison arc story.
Well, it's also like after watching that documentary 13th, it's like even if someone was arrested and thrown to jail, at what point have they repaid their debt to society? Do they deserve to be locked up forever? Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, some criminals do, but most don't. And then should they be subjugated to forced labor to build probably a super weapon?
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, once they get out, at least in the real world, once they get out, it's still, their lives are so hard. It's hard to get a job. It's hard.
Right.
You can't vote. Like,
And Amaranth says it well. Even if they deserve to be imprisoned, they didn't deserve to be treated inhumanely. That's a good way to put it.
yeah.
And yeah, the 13th documentary, which we watched because Joseph Scrimshaw was talking about it on Force Center. So they're always good for insights.
It's a pretty heavy documentary, but it's history. It's real.
It's like,
stuff.
yeah, it goes through the history and everything that's happening in the present day. But just the idea that, yeah, you're supposed to go to jail where you should be reformed or what have you. But the idea that you serve your time and then you get out and it's like you're still serving time. You're still imprisoned, kind of, because, yeah, can't get a job, can't vote, all these things.
I mean, you're expected to just go back out into society after being in jail or prison for so long, and yeah, how are you gonna pay for rent without like a job?
Mm-hmm.
You could get a really crappy job, but even crappy jobs are hard to get nowadays. So
Yeah.
like, it's a mess.
I definitely see the kind of discussion that could be had about whether or not the people that was everyone in Narkina 5 just picked up randomly, or were some of them violent criminals? We don't know. But, Star Wars hand waves morality kind of all the time.
Uh-huh.
Like, we talked about all of this last night, but the fact that Darth Vader gets to make, like, the easiest choice in the world, save the life of my son or stand here and do nothing. He makes one good choice, and then he's like, I'm good again. I'm back on the light side. I'm going to Force Heaven. I get to be a Force ghost, etc. In Star Wars, that works. In the real world, not so much. And that's why Darth Vader had to die. It's why I wanted so badly Kylo Ren to survive after his redemption, because I wanted to see, what does not just redemption in Star Wars look like, but atonement. Mm-hmm. Because it's great that you came in and you helped save the day, Ben Solo, but if you lived, what does it look like after that? But we'll go on to Cameron's story. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just says, subscriber since the Minute Days, which was 5 years ago? 6 years ago? Oh my God, I think that was 6 years ago. I think it was, I think we were Star Wars Minute for a year and a half. I think it was 2016 that we changed it.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for that. And much love from UK, Great Britain. Thanks, Cameron. Hopefully we see you at Celebration.
Ooh, I'm so excited. We've been talking about a lot of travel-related stuff recently, and we have our hotel. We still have to buy our plane tickets.
I should just pull the trigger on that. Well, I'm already stressed out about other travel stuff.
But we still have to figure out what we're going to do, as like how long we're going to stay in London around that time. Especially
since apparently word on the street is The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to start in late February, which means it's going to end right around Celebration. So it's kind of like that messes with things. Mm-hmm. But we'll figure it out.
I hear Hilo doing something, but I don't.
You want me to go check on him?
Is he scratching at the door?
Where is he? I don't know. I'll go look.
I don't know.
Be entertaining.
I I am very excited for Celebration.
He wants to go into...
Oh, I closed the door to our room because he was going in there and grabbing stuff and bringing it out. There's a little part in Saturday's Q&A where you hear Hilo barking just a little bit, loud enough to where it picked up on the microphone, and we're just like, really? He just wants attention. It's talking about Hilo's cameo in the Q&A.
I need to run back up in the chat. There we go. Because Andy Blanchard has the next super chat. Thanks, Andy. Honestly surprised they announced the Ghibli news today and not the weekend when you guys are away, but I'll take it.
That would make sense. Yeah, we're going out of town tomorrow for the weekend.
Well, it wasn't enough information to make a video on, so
yeah,
it would have been okay.
It was really bare bones.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, what does this mean?
And I don't know. But yeah, it's cool. I don't know much about Ghibli.
Yeah,
I need to watch.
I haven't seen a lot
more
of the Studio Ghibli stuff. I know Princess Mononoke. I loved that growing up, and I know that Ahsoka was kind of based off of that main character, which is cool. Spirited Away, is that another one? I feel like I've seen that.
Well, Kelly Knox, hey Kelly, says she'll give us all the recs. So yeah, shoot over some recommendations. I'd love them.
Hi, Kelly.
And also shout out to Gio Flores. Thanks for the super chat. On my way to Wakanda Forever. Just wanted to say hey, and you guys are amazing. Also tomorrow I should hopefully be sending out your guys' surprise.
Ooh.
But
thank you.
Thank you, Gio, and
fun.
enjoy Wakanda Forever. We got to figure out when we're going to go see that.
Oh boy. Too much to do.
I know. There's too much Star Wars happening to go out and like find a time to just see the MCU.
I was on Disney Plus today because I was going to get like a screenshot of something in Andor, and I saw Black Panther on their main page, and I was like, wait, is the new movie streaming already? But they were just promoting Black Panther for the new movie to come out. So I totally forgot that it was coming out this weekend.
Yeah.
Oops. But yeah, I'm excited to see that at some point.
And David McKay says, I'm loving Andor and I selfishly want them to go back to doing 5 seasons. I agree.
Yeah.
When they first said the plan where it was like season 1 is 1 year and then season 2 is 4 years, I was like, that's really interesting and sounds neat. Mm-hmm. I'm on board. Mm-hmm. And now after seeing most of season 1, I'm kind of upset. I'm like, no, 5 years, Tony Gilroy. I know you're tired.
I get it, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good because they put so much work into it, and they may have ended up cutting corners if they had to do 5 seasons.
Right.
So I think this is better.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's important to let the creator do what they think is right. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's what he's doing. But selfishly, as David says, I want you to sacrifice all of your time and your energy to give us an extra 4 years of Andor. I guess an extra 3 years. But back to what Andy said in the Ghibli stuff. Do you think that so we did talk about already the idea that it could just be Star Wars Visions Volume 2. Mm-hmm. They did show a map of like the animation studios and who would be contributing to Volume 2. And a lot of them were just all over the world, but Japan was still on the list. So I do think we're going to get some more anime. But also James Waugh at the Star Wars Visions panel at Celebration said that anime has a very bright future in Star Wars. So it could be something not related to Visions. It could be a full-on short or movie or something. I don't know.
I'd be up for that. I mean, we have the manga, so I think it only makes sense to add anime to the Star Wars repertoire, but I just assumed it was just going to be part of Visions.
Yeah.
But I feel like once they started doing Visions, that could have opened up a lot of doors to doing full-on projects.
Right. And that's kind of like
anime.
what I think James Waugh was hinting at, that it's like anime is not going to be a Visions only thing.
Yeah. I think that's a safe bet.
I'm still going to assume it's for Visions just to not get my hopes up, but if they say it's something bigger, I'll be all for it. Darth Nicholas, thank you for the next super chat. Will the Mando Season 3 trailer, rumored to be coming out on Christmas Day, be the same as the one shown at Celebration? I believe the Celebration Reddit trailer was different from the teaser released in September. I imagine it would be a new edit.
I don't think it's happening on Christmas Day.
It wouldn't surprise me if it did.
Really?
Everyone's like not at work.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that would be a great Christmas present for us. Although that would ruin any plans that we might have.
Yeah, we just wouldn't break it down until the next day. I already have our Christmas Day video planned. And I won't move it even for the Mandalorian.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you. I mean, I would. I'm not going to spoil it for everyone here. You don't get to know. I've told you what it is.
I feel like we would move it for something Mando related, but I don't know.
I don't think we're going to... I guess we could. We could. Is that how you want to spend Christmas morning?
Yes.
Really?
I want to relax at home on Christmas.
That's fine.
Mando just
I'm
makes
just saying
it even
that's
better.
not going to be relaxing.
Maybe by then we'll be jonesing for something. My God, there's so many tiny compartments in this.
I did, Danielus. Thank you. I will pop back up to that. But yeah, I think that they're going to have a new edit. I feel like this will be, whenever the next trailer comes out, it will be the final trailer, not the teaser. I think we're going to get a better idea of story and what's going on. And I feel like the teaser even did a pretty good job of like, he's going to go to the mines underneath Mandalore and Bo-Katan's going to be with him, maybe causing trouble, maybe not. I don't know.
We know Bo-Katan and Grogu spend some time together.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if Mando's there or not.
Yeah, I don't expect them to just recycle what was shown at Celebration.
Yeah.
Because even that, like, I think there were some shots that were included in the Celebration trailer that then came out in the teaser that I think were more polished. So I think that there's just going to be... They're going to have more to choose from because they will have been in post-production.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to start getting more Ahsoka stuff, like a trailer or some more footage or something. What do you think out of the Ahsoka stuff we'll get by Celebration?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I think they're going to save Ahsoka for Celebration.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you meant before.
Oh no, the new
in the lead up to,
Celebration of next year.
Yeah, I think that at Celebration is probably when we will get our teaser, maybe full trailer. It depends on when it's coming out.
I hope we see live action Thrawn.
I think they're gonna... He'll be in the main trailer. We might hear his voice in the teaser. I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out how they are gonna work that out. I don't know. I think that we could get some more teases of him in The Mandalorian as well, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's hard to even tell what the story is going to be for the next season, other than lots of Mandalorians show up.
Yeah, more and more Mandalorians. I think we're building towards Thrawn, but yeah, for Ahsoka, I think they're going to save most of that for Celebration. I assume Mando will go from February to April, and then they might take a month off. So Ahsoka might start in June. That would run June, July. And then Skeleton Crew could come out in the last third of the year. I don't know. I'm really interested to just know what the release schedule is. Because there's The Mandalorian, Ahsoka Skeleton Crew, Star Wars Visions Volume 2, The Young Jedi Adventures, which I think Visions is just going to be 1 week. Young Jedi Adventures is probably a weekly release, but I don't think it's going to be very competitive with the live action stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if I'm missing anything on Disney Plus. But let me pop back up to Elliot Finn's second super chat. Sorry about that, Elliot. I wish the dam used for Aldhani and the town used for Niamos weren't so far away from London. Star Wars Explained field trip to Aldhani or Niamos during Celebration.
That would be fun.
That would be really fun. Like, just to meet up on a planet.
Yeah. And I also feel like the bridge outside of the ISB is in London somewhere.
Maybe we'll see what all is there, shooting location-wise. We can try to find a meetup point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elliot says the ISB bridge is definitely doable. And Matty Gunner says he'll drive. He'll drive everyone.
Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
We solved it. Everyone pile in Maddie's car.
Yeah. We kept talking about doing a meetup somewhere away from like this celebration building for Anaheim, and I don't if we couldn't pull it off in LA, I don't know that we could pull it off in London, which is an area that we know even less about, but we'll still find a way to do a meetup.
Oh, we're definitely going to do meetups and stuff. We'll
Maddie,
figure something out.
Maddie, if you know about a bar that has a lot of space that we could just pile into, maybe we can plan a meetup.
Oh yeah, and Elliot says there was an underground station near the ISB bridge that was also used for Scarif and the Imperial base. I remember that. But yeah, I think if I could just pick, I would go to Niamos. Easy. Like, that would be fun. Because then we can just put the Niamos song on repeat. That same 90 seconds, we'll listen to that over and over and over again for a few hours.
Well, we could have all of the iterations of it playing.
That's true.
Because there's different mixes of it that we know now.
Well, at the Niamos shooting location, we would have just Niamos, the remix. And then if we go to somewhere classy, we'll put on the Coruscant version. I was proud of myself that I caught that. It's the first scene with Mon Mothma and Take Kolma. When she starts to leave with Perrin at the end of the scene, I was like, this is just the Niamos song, but slower. I loved that.
Well, and we heard it in the very beginning of the show, too, at the...
Yeah.
What would they call it? The leisure lounge?
Pleasure House?
Pleasure lounge?
I can't remember.
The fun time bar?
Oh. Yeah. Cody Langfit, thank you for the next super chat. Hey guy, what are your favorite alien species in Star Wars? It says, hey guy, but
hey guy.
Maybe it meant guys.
Favorite alien species in Star Wars? I don't know that I have a favorite. I feel like Twi'lek is the boring choice.
It is. But my choice is not...
Yoda's species, obviously.
You just care about one of them, though.
I care about Yaddle.
Okay.
How dare you?
I mean, my first instinct is to say Wookiees, which is also a boring choice, but... they're like dogs that can talk and follow you around, and they love you forever.
Does Charhound count?
No. That's like a creature. That's...
Oh, okay.
I think Cody is asking about sentient species.
I trying to think.
Me too. Let's get some inspiration.
I like Deveronians because it's just a giant devil character.
I do like Night Sisters a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duh.
But they're very humanoid. Like, that's not a... I've always liked Trandoshans.
Yeah, Zabraks. I like anything with a lot of horns.
I just remember enjoying, with my action figures, pitting Chewbacca and Bosk against each other. Before I even knew that Wookiees and Trandoshans hated each other. It just seemed like a natural thing.
I also
trying to think of like something from the High Republic that I got into.
I do really like Gungans, and I hope we see more of that species at some point.
I like whatever Vetch is. I don't remember his species, but just
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Gigorans.
Gigorans are cool.
They look like big fuzzy friends.
I like Imrusians. I'll throw that one out there because that was one of it was a Star Wars trivia question at DragonCon this year that only I got, so I felt pretty good about that. But I do like their design of... I think the Art of Solo book talks about how they wanted it to feel like magma almost, as in they had kind of like these crags through their skin.
What Margot is.
Yeah. Just the way that they took inspiration from the natural world to make the Inrusians, I thought it was cool. Vetch is an Uridel. Thank you, Amaranth. Oh, Babu Frick's species. And Zellans, they're a good one. Basilisk are good.
Whatever the blob person is.
I thought about
High
that,
Republic.
yeah.
I can't remember.
The archivist. I can't remember his name or his species, but yeah, that he's basically jelly contained in a suit. Love him.
Geode.
Oh yeah, Vintians.
Vintian.
How can we forget? Orbalin, yeah.
Orbalin, yeah. That's not in the Schmodown anymore. I don't have to remember any of this stuff.
Yeah, I only care about trivia anymore at DragonCon.
At DragonCon. And that's all just like, if I happen to know it, I happen to know it.
But let's pop over to Grant, Georgia. Thank you for the super chat. I say Grant, Georgia. It could be Grant, GA. But I was lucky enough to finally get a PS5, replayed Fallen Order, surprised how long it was in a good way. Nice. I'd love to see new planets, but I'd love to see Jeddah or wherever Saw is. HBU, what is something you guys are looking for?
How about you?
How about you? Cool. I hope that they keep basically the same balance that they did in the first game. I loved that it was about 50-50 recognizable planets and new planets.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Jeddah. I will always go to Jeddah. I love that location.
Yeah, I like jungle locations. Like I liked Kashyyyk a lot. I don't love snow or underwater locations because that just like...
Does that give you like flashbacks to old video games? Because I immediately think of like Donkey Kong Country or Super Mario levels. The underwater levels are so hard.
Yeah, it makes me hear the do 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 do.
Yep.
Yeah, the Mario underwater music gives me nightmares.
Underwater levels from the 90s were always so hard.
So hard.
Artie Films, don't act like you don't know what Fallen Order is. I saw you playing it earlier today. I seen it.
I do want to do another playthrough of that before the second one.
We want to play The Last of Us, and I want to play Fallen Order again.
I would just want to play Fallen Order, like, not stream it, maybe. Just, like, play it on the PlayStation downstairs.
I'd probably stream it again. Not on, like, Grandmaster mode like I did last time. Just Jedi Knight, let's just have a breezy time, refresh my memory.
But we did stream me playing Fallen Order for the first time, and that exists on the channel if you want to go watch those.
You can watch Molly play it. You can watch me play it on Grandmaster. If you want to watch me fight Malicos for 2 hours, that's available. Oh, Zwartacat asks if you... Oh, yeah, we have this box in the way. I wanted to show the box off, but there's an update on the build.
Oh, yeah, I've got, like, this piece over here. So it's not very big, but yeah.
Well, you're building, like, the wall. You're moving quite along.
Got this wall piece that I think goes back here. So, yeah, I'm getting close.
You're doing good. You're doing great.
I'll be able to show it up close to the camera when it's done.
But for Fallen Order, or Survivor, I should say, I would love to go to Nar Shaddaa or Coruscant.
Ooh.
I mean, I
It does look like we might go to Coruscant.
I think so. I think we will. I love the Uncharted games. I love Indiana Jones. So I love the whole temple raiding aspect of Fallen Order. But it was a bunch of just like ruins and stuff. So if we were to mix things up, I'd love an urban level. I think that would be really cool. I still want to do some temple raiding.
I want to go back to Dathomir. That's a fun level.
I mean, at this point, yeah, you're friends with...
Marin?
Yeah, oh my god, what a brain fart. I forgot the name of my goth girlfriend.
Again, Mr. Star Wars kind of knows it.
Not today. The 4-hour stream yesterday took it out of me. So, yeah, like, I guess I want them to make up 3 brand new planets, and then we can go to Coruscant. I would prefer Nar Shaddaa, actually. I think the Smuggler's Moon would... That's just one of my favorite places, and it's been featured so heavily in video games. Ord Mantell would be cool.
Ooh, I just had a brain fart now. What's the Hutt world?
Nal Hutta, but...
Nal Hutta.
Nar Shaddaa is, like, a moon around it.
Oh, okay. I just think it would be cool to see huts.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of them.
That'd be cool. If we were to... Okay, the way that Fallen Order eventually leads you to Ilum, which was such a cool moment. Like, I remember how I felt when Cal accidentally destroyed his lightsaber, and Seer is like, well, we got to build you a new one, so you know where we need to go. That was such a cool moment. So I think if we flipped that, it would be really cool to go to Malachor. If we had Cal go to Malachor or Moraband. I don't know that they would do that, but it like an old Sith ruined place I think would be neat.
Because don't we see in the trailer that once again his lightsaber gets stolen or taken?
Seems like it. Well, first of all,
Maybe he has to build another one.
it's back to being a single, and it has like a little cap on the end. So I'm like, maybe he gave half of it to Marin.
Yes, that's what I want to see. I want to see Marin learn to use a lightsaber, and maybe she's force sensitive.
I mean, I think that's such a... I mean, she uses magic.
Yeah, the game mechanic could just be her with a lightsaber, but using Night Sister magic.
Yeah.
And, like, that is my dream come true for the sequel to that game. And it would be a great game mechanic to just, like, Cal already knows how to do so much stuff because that's what he learned to do in the first game. But if you have Marin learning a lot of the same stuff, I think that would be fairly easy for the developers to transfer over to her.
And that's something we've said before, especially as a Metroidvania game. Like, every Metroid starts with Samus, like, in her full gear, and then something happens, and it's like, oh no, you lost everything, and you have to find it again, which is fine. Like, freaking Metroid... I can't think today. The Metroid Dread, I loved that game. That came out last year, and I played it like 5 times in a row. So good. So I really like Metroidvanias, but from the point of view of the Force, it's not like Cal can get punched and like, oh, I forgot how to Force pull.
Yeah.
I gotta learn that again. But if you need to unlock abilities for Marin and she has to focus using magic, like, oh, that's such a different thing that Star Wars games have never done before. It's so unique. But I also think it's cool that Cal looks like he can dual wield his blaster and a lightsaber. Mm-hmm. That's also really neat. I think they're going to give us a lot more variety. They even said as much that some people, not me, I think the game is a perfect 10 out of 10, but some people got a little bored of the combat, and I can understand that.
It was hard for me from beginning to end.
Yeah. I loved everything they did, but to add a little more variety and be like, you can shoot at your enemies, or use your lightsaber, or use the Force, or use magic. Like,
whenever I did manage to do something cool with the not so basic moves, like when I managed to force pull someone into my lightsaber or something like that, I considered that like a more advanced move. And most of the time I would just do it on accident. But whenever I did it, I'd be like, I'm so cool.
It makes you feel good. And that when you fought the Ninth Sister, I was really, really bad about using the Force slow technique. And everyone yelled at me, especially during the Malicos fight. They were like, slow him down. And I just forget about that power. I'm like, I can pull and push, and that's all I need.
I think that's on our TikTok of me beating the Ninth Sister.
That's what I was going to say, that like it was a close fight, and I feel like she's like getting ready to hit you, and you just pause her and like dodge around and finish the fight, and I was so proud of you.
I felt pretty good after that, not gonna lie. So go check out our TikTok and see me doing some video game cool stuff.
Because it's relevant to the conversation, and Johnny C just sent this in. Thank you for the super chat to our stream sponsor. Did you get the GameStop exclusive Marin Funko? Pretty sure it's still available if you haven't. It's just barely visible behind Molly, but yeah, we got it.
She's so cute. She's got her little head, or not her head, her hood is up, and she's holding little Night Sister magic in one hand.
We're kind of fighting over Marin right now, because I put her in our little...
I'm running out of room. I need to clean my office a little bit and make some more room, put some more shelves up, but I have a shrine in my office of all the Funko Pops that are like all the strong female characters in Star Wars, so I might come take her.
Well, it's like, I know. I have Marin and the second sister stolen in here, and Bo-Katan, but I think you have your own Bo-Katan. This is a shared space. These are like, here's my shrines. These are largely your shrines.
Yeah.
You got your Baby Yoda, you got your Bo-Katan.
There's like little stuff going in all these little compartments.
They're cool, like little decorations. Darth Nicholas has the next super chat. Thank you. In my opinion, Andor has the best soundtrack of any live-action Star Wars series, and Nicholas Bertel continues to kill it, every week. I still can't get over the catchiness of the galaxy mix of Niamos. Completely agree. That is probably my favorite in-universe Star Wars song. You know, I have a lot of...
open these with my nails.
I have a lot of love for the Cantina Band song, Mad About Me, especially because knowing the title of that song is what got me my first Dragon Con Star Wars trivia win. But Niamos, I have listened to those 90 seconds on repeat for like a couple hours.
Really?
When I was playing games with the boys, I just like put it on repeat. And so we were playing PUBG, and I just had Niamos going on in the background, and I was just jamming to it.
Because it's so short, I don't think I could listen to it on repeat unless, you're doing something kind of mindless.
Yeah, I had it like turned down, and I was not focused on it, but it's so good.
Right, I'm almost done here. I've only got a little bit more to go, but it's looking good so far.
You're doing great. I really like this. Ooh, that's fun. Little books or something. I wonder if I need to like compare soundtracks. I do really like Nicholas Bertel's music, obviously. But there's something about the Mandalorian soundtrack that, like, you know, that theme song gets you pumped up.
Ludwig
Ludwig
Kills it.
crushes it. But I do think Niamos is like top tier diegetic Star Wars music
Diegetic?
in universe.
Oh.
Sorry,
Don't
I
act
listened to
smart.
the soundtrack show.
Don't act smart.
That's what it's called. I'm trying to teach. Diegetic means
Stick to
it's
Star Wars.
in the it is Star Wars.
Kidding.
That's why I learned it. It's from the soundtrack show because he's like the Cantina song is diegetic music, and I was like, I learned a new word.
That just sounds like it's music easier to digest.
Chase is grateful. Thank you, Chase. Chase says diegetic. This is amazing to know. Thank you.
We're all amazed at how smart you are.
I'm not trying to be smart. I'm passing along the knowledge that David W. Collins gave to me.
Which we would love to have him on
Again.
in an interview again, yeah, or like on one of our after shows or something
Yeah.
would be cool.
David W. Collins he's often a host for Lucasfilm. He is the voice of Proxy in The Force Unleashed. He's good friends with Sam Witwer, but he also works as a sound designer at Lucasfilm and has for like 20 years. Almost 20 years. I think he came on in 2005 or maybe it was 2003. He started to work on the Republic Commando game, but he does a podcast called The Soundtrack Show, breaking down music from not just Star Wars, but any movie. His Fellowship of the Ring, his Lord of the Rings episodes are also great. Indiana Jones, Jaws, a lot of Spielberg
This
/
is
Williams.
Such a cool set.
It's really neat. The fact that it was free with the land speeder is kind of insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, go listen to that podcast. It's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, he's so busy, he doesn't put out new episodes often. His Legend of Zelda episodes are really great. But we also did an interview with him, I think, after the Bad Batch Season 1, when he had like some spare time. And he's super nice, super great. Check it out.
You guys talked about that commando appearance?
The Republic Commando game?
Yeah.
The appearance. Oh yeah,
He
in the
was
Bad
in
Batch.
Bad Batch.
Yeah. He used a lot of sound effects because they are commandos and they use a lot of the same weapons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Izzy has the next super chat. Thank you. They should adapt the old Lego blasters. I like all the old Lego blasters.
The old ones?
Well, I mean, I guess the ones from '99. I could probably dig some out, but it would take me a while.
How do those look compared to the new ones?
A little more simple. Just like everything from, you jump back 20 years into Lego. Lego is getting really complex with some of its stuff, but that's fine. Still fun. One of my favorite, like, random monologues, I guess, is from Michael K. Williams when he was in Community, and he was like the teacher that was in prison for a while, and then he came out, and
He's
he was
the
just
one
like,
that's in The Wire, right?
yeah, and he was almost going to be in Solo. Also, rest in peace.
Yeah.
Omar in The Wire, fantastic.
I forgot he was going to be in Solo.
Yeah. I love Dryden Voss as he is in Solo, but I remember when they announced Michael K. Williams was going to be in Star Wars, and I was like, hell yes. I'm sad it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has like this little monologue of like, what happened to Legos? They used to be simple. Now it's Star Wars and Harry Potter. And he just like has this little monologue that leads to nothing really. But it was still so well delivered. I loved that moment.
Seemingly it is a lot of Star Wars, Harry Potter, now Marvel. There's a lot of like...
It's almost hard to find non-IP Legos anymore.
Well, there's a lot of like adult Lego sets now that are like flowers, cars, the Fender like guitar with the little speaker set. You've got like the Titanic, which I think would be a really cool build. The Coliseum, which is like the biggest one that they do.
Yeah, there's a soccer stadium. There's the grand piano that I built, which was really fun. the NES. Now they're doing the Atari. Yeah, they're
Oh.
doing lots of fun stuff like that.
And now they have me hooked into the holiday sets.
Yeah. It's just like there is part of me that misses Aquazone, or just when they made it. You know what? Johnny Thunder. I know he's just an Indiana Jones ripoff, but I loved Johnny Thunder.
Johnny Thunder.
I've brought Johnny Thunder up on these LEGO streams way too many times, but I miss him.
You should do a Johnny Thunder cosplay.
Ooh. That's a good idea.
Is there a fake Marianne to go with Johnny Thunder?
Marion?
What's her name?
Mary Ann?
Marianne.
Marion Ravenwood, Molly.
That's what I said.
Mary Ann Ravenwood?
I'm just making
No.
sure you can hear me.
Aye.
Poopa.
Speak up, Meemaw. Justin Farrell, thank you for the next super chat. Would George hate the Nameless? I'd always heard Canon Thrawn's lizards were removed because he didn't like their powers. Okay, we've talked about this before, so I've got kind of a canned answer. But the Nameless and the Salamiri, Thrawn's lizards, they work in different ways. So the Salamiri basically existed outside of the Force. That's more what George didn't like. He didn't really like the Salamiri. He didn't like the Yuuzhan Vong. They were like so terrible and so violent that the Force itself was like, no, we're gonna disconnect ourselves from you.
No thanks.
Yeah, no thank you to you, which I get. And personally, I like the Yuuzhan Vong. I grew up with them, so I had a lot of fun with those stories. But I do understand where George is coming from, that it's like, no, the Force is life. So if you are alive, you are connected to the Force. And the Salamiri grew up on a planet where the Vornskers were their primary predator.
What?
Vornskers.
That sounds like something Scooby-Doo would say.
Vornskers, Scoob! So the Salamiri evolved to not be detected through the Force by disconnecting themselves from it. Mm-hmm. So no, and so then they created like this bubble where the Force couldn't penetrate it. And no, George didn't really like that idea. The Nameless have a similar effect in that they can cut off Jedi from the Force, but it's more just that it impairs their ability to use it. It's not creating like this bubble where the Force no longer exists. It's more about attacking a Jedi. And from what I can tell so far, there is still more to learn about the Nameless, but they attack a Jedi with fear. And all of that fear makes the Jedi incapable of using the Force as well as they should. But like if you look at Elzar Mann in The Fallen Star, he was actively kind of not using the Force because he was afraid of himself and what he did in the Rising Storm. So he was unaffected by the Nameless. So it's not like they were around and he couldn't use the Force. He had kind of chosen not to. And because of that, he was okay. Mm-hmm. It feels very trippy, and it feels like a long-winded answer, but I just think the Nameless and the Salamiri are completely different. I don't have an answer to whether or not George would hate them. Maybe he hates H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know. They're very Lovecraftian. But it's not about existing outside of the Force or negating the Force. It's just about how they hinder the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Little teapot. Little frying pan. Makes me think of PUBG. For anyone that plays PUBG, we had an awesome group PUBG cosplay a couple years ago at DragonCon, and we all had frying pans.
Miss it.
And we had a chicken dinner.
Oh yeah, we brought Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets.
I don't know that anyone actually got that reference, but
we were too early. Like, we got obsessed with PUBG way too early. That was our problem.
this is here's that bottle I was talking about, the whiskey bottle.
Yeah. It does look like one. That looks like Jameson for sure. Bates Dynasty, thank you for the next super chat. I'm probably the only one thankful for daylight savings time. Now your streams start 1 hour later in Korea, so I can finish my cereal and slurp my blue milk.
That's awesome. Yeah, daylight savings time for us just... I don't mind getting the extra hour of that one day. That was nice. But now it gets dark at like 5:30 p.m.
Yeah, it's weird.
Our animals still don't know what to do, like when dinner time is, when it's not.
That's the worst part.
It all messes with them. And
Pippin is already a terrorist, but when he thinks that his biological clock doesn't have daylight savings time, so the idea that he has to wait an extra hour for dinner does not mesh well with him.
And the fact that it's dark outside also messes with him. Mm-hmm. So they just are hungry all day and yelling about it.
Yeah. But I'm glad you have more time and you can join us.
Yeah.
Lightspeed Bear just re-upped their membership. Thank you, Lightspeed Bear. Hey guys, always
awesome.
a pleasure. Loved the last episode of Andor. Luthen's speech gave me chills. Also, nice catch, Alex, talking about Cassian not being able to sleep. Thank you. I was proud of that one.
That was one that, like, you caught that while we were watching it for the first time because you mentioned it in the reaction. And I was like,
it's wide awake.
look at you.
Look at him growing and becoming a better person.
What is this? Are these?
I don't know. Just probably like some little kitchen tool.
They look kind of like the quadnoculars, but I don't think they are that.
It looks kind of like a little land speeder model. Oh, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Because someone mentioned because...
Is that in
I
the
think it was,
kitchen?
No. But because it came with the land speeder.
Oh, okay.
Bricks, who was here earlier, mentioned that the set comes with a little land speeder.
Oh, I see it now, yeah. Cute. Got a little plant.
But yeah, I'm glad you liked that little nugget of insight because I brought it up in the review, I brought it up in today's video, and I think I did a short on it too that'll come out at some point. Doomslayer, thank you for the next super chat. I'm getting a pair of kittens tomorrow, and I need Star Wars name suggestions for brothers. Maul and Savage.
Maul and Savage.
Or Feral. Oh, Feral's a great name for a cat.
Yeah.
I like that.
Feral cat.
Savage and Feral.
But it's not a feral cat.
Yeah, but it's still... I like that name.
That I do like that.
It's hard to just show...
I gave the best Star Wars...
Kino and Loy is really sweet.
I gave the best Star Wars cat name away years ago.
Oh, yeah, to Andy.
Kitster.
Kitster's really good. I do like Kino and Loy.
Keef and
Gurga. Dexter and Jetster.
Oh, I like that a lot.
That's kind of good.
Dexter and Jetster. Oh.
And then for short, it's just Dex and Jet. That's kind of cute.
Time to get more kittens.
Oh, Bix is a good one too. Keith and Clem. It's hard because
that shouldn't be out.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Molly did an oopsie. Maybe. I don't know where it would go, but oh, right there. I bet.
No?
Yeah. Right there.
Oh, okay.
You can do it. We've all been there.
Oh my gosh.
Doomslayer already has a cat named Jar Jar, so that's out. I feel like you kind of need... Oh, that's nice that you can just do that. I like to be able to,
Wait.
meet the cat.
That shouldn't go in like that. Or...
I think it goes down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, we named Pippin after Molly took him in, and then we got to know him a little bit, and he was just a mischievous little scamp who was always hungry.
Peregrine Took.
So yeah, I was like, he's like Pippin. So we named him Pippin.
Oh no.
Luke and Luke.
Oh no. everything is just like barely stuck together, so I try to squeeze it and then it just starts.
Is that supposed to just sit there? That's
no,
interesting.
it's in. It's just hard to push
okay.
it in without messing everything else up. All right, everything else is little 1x1 pieces. Oh, and then I can put the spoons in there.
I still like Feral as a cat name.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of brothers in Star Wars that would work well, but...
Oh, I can put the spoon in her hand. I can put... Or no, wait, she's getting the blaster.
Brian Ferreira, thank you for another super chat. Should Lucasfilm produce animated movies like the DC animated universe? 75 to 90 minutes in length, like Bad Batch Episode 1, but as standalone. I'd love a Snoke tale. I think we'd all love a Snoke tale. Just give us a little more insight and context. I'm fine with that.
Snoke, I don't know.
I could use some more context on Snoke. I would happily take little short animated things, kind of like Tales of the Jedi, but as one whole story. Mm-hmm. I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, they've already tested those waters with the Lego shorts. You can't put her in an angle.
No. But she's gonna have her gun.
Yeah, she's got her blaster.
Yay!
You did it!
I did it. You look like you're hiding.
I am hiding, so you can focus on that.
Ta-da! So the blaster was an extra edition, but I think it really makes the set. But it's really cool how like the doorway is shaped like that, and then it's solid around the back. I don't know if the camera can pick up all the stuff in there, but there's like a little teapot. There's a little blue milk. There's like stuff in the little blue cabinets. Yay!
Very cute.
I don't know if anyone heard me.
Oh. I don't know either. I think so. Sweet Feet Pete has a super chat just stopped in to say hi. Thanks, Sweet Feet Pete.
Heyo.
Ooh, Gundam Explained. Another explainer out there. Welcome. Have you ever watched a Gundam show or movie from the Universal Century era? It's like the mature Star Wars of anime. I don't know what the Universal Century era is, and I think the only Gundam show I've seen is Gundam Wing, and I liked it a lot. I would not mind going back into more mecha shows. I love Gurren Lagann, which I know is not Gundam, but it's kind of along those lines.
I never got into any of that stuff. I don't know why. I mean, Power Rangers I watched. That's kind of the American version of a Gundam.
Kinda. In a way.
Right? Because they all form into one big robot.
I don't think that's necessarily a Gundam thing. I'm not Gundam Explained.
Wait,
that's fun that I can say that.
I'm mixing up the word Gundam with the word mecha.
Yeah, I think it's like one of those all Gundams are mechas, but not all mechas are Gundams kind of thing.
All right, I'm out of my
Thank goodness we're here.
zone.
Gundam Explained is here in the chat and can help us, but Universal Century is way more Star Wars than Wing. Okay, so Universal Century is like a series, or just an, I guess you said it's an era, so probably just a time period where they were making Gundam stories. Chazotron says I got it right. So yeah, the Power Rangers I think are in mechas, and like Gurren Lagann is a mecha anime, but it's not Gundam. But then Gundam is a type of mecha and also has a ton of series in it. I actually do have some Gundam. I started to get into anime because I'm not that familiar with it. Last year, I was watching a lot of anime off of the recommendations of a friend to get ready for Visions.
Sorry, you have some of your eyebrow hairs are just growing at insane angles. I need to trim them.
I'm perfect the way I am. But I would like to watch more Gundam, because I always liked Wing. And I've loved Gurren Lagann, so I probably would enjoy more mecha stories. Jane Dalton, thank you for the next super chat. If you had to be a droid, what kind of droid would you want to be? B2 emo. Actually, I think BD1 would be more fun. You just get to run around, kind of do your own thing, help out when you're needed.
Yeah. Ned B is a good one. But I would want to talk. Maybe I would want to fly, so like maybe Chopper or R2. An astromech.
Yeah.
Little rockets.
BD has little boosters.
Yeah.
He can fly a little. He can hover more than anything, but
L3.
Yeah.
Like she's
kind of a cobbled together.
Yeah, she's just her own droid that
I
she
think
kind of built herself.
That's probably the most human answer of just to retain your own autonomy, not be programmed.
Yeah.
But look how cute.
He is cute.
I'd want to be that.
He's so small.
I want to be able to get into tight spaces and open doors for friends.
Where's the little B2 or the whatever BD droid that came with the Mando set?
Actually, Pippin probably threw him on the ground. It's either over there with the N1 or it's on the ground somewhere, or I don't know.
If Pippin threw it on the ground, it might be in Hilo's stomach at this point.
Wolfboy762, thanks for the next super chat. Hey guys, have you seen the new phone commercials with Zach Braff and Donald Faison? They've been showing up a lot on TV and they're very funny. I have not, but I will look them up.
We don't watch live TV.
Yeah,
so.
it's almost weird when we go somewhere and we have to see commercials and we're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
But no, I'm excited that they're doing stuff like that together.
I always, when a commercial comes on, I'm like, how do you skip this? Like on YouTube. But yeah, obviously, I adore the two of them together. Ooh, it's getting to be that time to watch their rendition of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Yeah.
I watch that every year.
Part of our holiday tradition. How many more super chats do we? I have to.
You can go. Okay. Go to the bathroom and come back.
I can go.
Molly's got to go poop.
I'm not. You say that every time.
Timing you. We'll see. Elliot Finn, thank you for the next super chat. The Acolyte is apparently filming at a studio less than an hour away from where I live. Oh, it's surreal to think that it's all happening so close. That's exciting. I'd be tempted to go over there. Like, I think I would want to keep myself insulated from knowing anything, but at the same time, I'd be like, they're right there. Just go be don't be Cyril Karn, hanging outside the studio and waiting. But I might be tempted to do that. Carry On Moss is there. And Elliot Finn, thank you for the next super chat. How many super chats for Alex to stream SWOTOR? I need to try it, honestly. It's such a huge blind spot in my fandom. I feel like that is easily the biggest thing that I know a little bit about it, but I've never played the game, read some of the books, read some of the comics, but I do not know much about SWOTOR. So it seems like something that I should dip my toes into. Just got to find the time for it. But yeah, it would be fun to, even if I'm not doing like lore stuff, that's always the temptation, I guess, is that I learned something new and I need to make a video about it. But I could just play it and that would be easier. And yeah, might be able to find some time to play some SWOTOR in between shows. It's just like, more and more are coming out. But we've got a little bit of time between Andor and Bad Batch. Okay, that was pretty fast. Probably not a number 2 then.
I I would be bragging if it were.
That's 2 in one day. Sorry.
Thanks. Thanks.
It's exciting times.
I told Alex about this TikTok that I saw where it was like POV in your 20s, and it's this girl being super excited about 2-for-1 Jello shots, and so being at the bar tonight. I'll meet you there at 10:30. And then it's like POV and you're being excited in your 30s, and she's just sitting at her desk typing, and she goes, "Another poop? 2 poops in one day?" And that's true.
Will, thank you for the next super chat. Aunt Beru is a total badass now. Agreed. That's why we gave her the giant rifle. Mm-hmm. I loved everyone immediately in episode 6 of Obi-Wan Kenobi being like, "Let's go, Aunt Beru." I love what
she was
Obi-Wan
like,
Kenobi did for Aunt Beru.
She's like, "I'm not effing around. Period."
Oh, when you want to run? Look, I hit all of the... Yeah, we should find a way to hide a blaster in here. That'd be funny. Like, literally build one into the walls.
You could put them in these little compartments.
I mean, like, hide one in the wall somewhere. So you have to break it open to get to the blaster. Laura Victor, thank you for the next super chat. Fangirl from the original trilogy era, and I'm loving this live stream. Wish we had all these amazing Star Wars fan-events like this when I was a little kid with an Ewok. Thanks so much for your amazing channel. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
I don't know when it happened, when the change happened, when nerdy things stopped being a reason to be picked on. I feel like I can remember a couple times where someone would be like, "You're reading a Star Wars book?" in like middle school. And that was it. And I was just like, "Yeah, I'm reading Darksaber. What about it?"
It's like, I think it was around the time, maybe just before the term hipster became a thing. And like hipster things became cool. And then it was like, oh, anything vintage is cool now. So Star Wars, Star Trek, a lot of like random sci-fi stuff is now considered cool. And then Star Wars designs started popping up in places like Target and Walmart on like t-shirts and stuff. And then the idea of a vintage t-shirt became cool with either old logos like Star Wars or old band logos. Those are all cool now. I don't know. It's interesting how that stuff kind of like cycles back through pop culture. And I will say the day that Target started selling these oversized t-shirts that had Spice Girls on them and Backstreet Boys and like TLC, I was like, is this a sign for me to stop shopping in the junior section? Because like I had a Spice Girls shirt growing up. But nothing will stop me from shopping in any section of any store I want to. So there.
I see Laserbolt and Amaranth are talking about like definitely not wearing Star Wars shirts to school in the 80s. And I don't think I did.
Now there's potential to get made fun of if you're wearing a Star Wars shirt, depending on what movie and what trilogy it is.
Right, now it's like you might get made fun of by the Star Wars fandom itself for something.
Which is sad.
Yeah, tribalism sucks.
Shouldn't be that way, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I wore Star Wars shirts to school or like... I don't... My wardrobe now is 50% Star Wars at least, and back then, I don't think it was. But I was still definitely known as like the Star Wars kid, or one of them.
What years are you talking of?
High school would have been
high school.
Yeah, 01 to 05. I mean, I've said this before, I think, on live streams, but I was still in 2005 like known well enough that I loved Star Wars that some people I would consider to be popular were like, we're gonna go. They were very nice. Like, I don't feel like there were really any mean popular bullies or something that I experienced, but I didn't hang out with them all the time. But they were like, we're gonna go see Revenge of the Sith at midnight. Do you want to go with us? And I was like, sure.
You didn't know them?
No, I knew it. Like, I ran cross country with them.
Oh, okay.
We absolutely knew each other, but it wasn't like we were hanging out every weekend or anything.
Sure.
So it wasn't weird to be invited by them. But then when I showed up in a Jedi robe and with a lightsaber, and I was the only one dressed up, and I knew that was going to happen, but they were still like, "Oh, you really like Star Wars, huh?"
Super nerd.
Yeah. But we had a great time.
Yeah.
And that's like, even people who weren't big into Star Wars were like, "We're going to see Revenge of the Sith at midnight." Like, that was, I guess, my high school experience, which I feel like was very lucky.
Mm-hmm. I think I wore, I don't know, like, my high school years, they were the same as yours. We both graduated in 2005. So my wardrobe for high school was a lot of, like, American Eagle, sometimes Abercrombie, but for the most part I couldn't afford that stuff. So I would, if I happened to find some Abercrombie stuff at a thrift store, I'd be like, yes. But I mostly wore, almost every single day, a hoodie with the Campbell Spartans logo on it, which was my high school team, a pair of like bootcut jeans, and Birkenstocks. That's what I wore, like, every single day.
I remember getting really into the t-shirt, like, slogan thing. I don't know, just a graphic tee with some dumb thing written on it. I loved a good pun on a shirt.
Yeah, I think I got there too eventually.
I definitely was still wearing them when we met, because I remember having that, like, Missouri loves company shirt, which I thought was hysterical. Do I still have that? I don't know. Me and Schlag got those together for our trip to Missouri.
Well, that's fine. That has a story behind it.
Anyway, t-shirts explained. Timmy Weirwill has the next super chat. Thank you. Just got my Art of the High Republic book in the mail. Such a great book. Also love the channel. Feel like I watch you guys more than regular TV. We got ours too. It's Baver time.
It's Baver time. Pew, 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 pew.
We kind of know Kristen Baver. She's pretty cool. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
But yeah, but anytime she has a new book out, it's always exciting. I brought this book to Celebration to get her to sign that specific page that I've referenced a billion times, and then it finally happened. I kept saying Qui-Gon's gonna be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series because this book says that Obi-Wan finally got in touch with Qui-Gon's Force Ghost 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and that's exactly what happened. So I wanted to have her sign that passage.
Did you get her to sign it?
No, because we were too busy, and I only got to talk to her once.
Yeah.
We saw her when we were up in the seats, like, for one of the panels.
Right.
I was like,
and we were like,
I think that's Kristen Baver. And
we
she
saw curly
us.
red hair.
Yeah. But yeah, the High Republic book,
it's so good so far.
I'm only like 20 pages into it. I haven't had time to really dig into it, but I am very happy with it so far.
All of the Ardent books, if you haven't sat down and actually read through them, it's very eye-opening, and it's like reading a behind-the-scenes little documentary episode about the process behind the making of that movie or series or whatever.
I was gonna say it's the closest thing we have to the making of Star Wars and the making of The Empire Strikes Back, the J.W. Rinsler books that are amazing. These are, heavily focused on the concept art, but they still go into the creation of the movie or the High Republic or the TV show. I guess the theme park. I have not had a chance to really read through the Art of the Galaxy's Edge.
I just noticed this.
What are you breaking those out for?
I don't know. Because I always see we have Star Wars Trivial Pursuit cards, like, all over the house. And these are Lord of the Rings Trivial Pursuit cards. So we should maybe bust these out for a Patreon goal or something.
I was going to say if we can answer some more questions here, but before the stream is over, I'll have you test me.
Okay.
I'll be fine. Yeah, find a good card. Dantebay Zero, thank you for the next super chat. Listening to Star Wars books really helps with my long days. Love the High Republic, and I feel like I'm missing a lot of story in the comics. The Dringir were handled there, and character stories are there too. Yeah, actually, reading the High Republic, the Art of book, kind of talks about Cavan Scott's comic as being a bit of a backbone for the whole series, because it kind of continues on. It bridges gaps between the novels. So it is kind of like this story spine that other things spring out of. But yeah, you can't listen to those, and that's a bummer. I do wish they would do those motion comics released on, I mean, Disney Plus would be cool, or Blu-ray or whatever. The comics are great. I'm not a huge comic person outside of Star Wars. I read the Star Wars comics. I would say it's probably my least favorite media to consume story, but that doesn't mean that I've definitely hit some Star Wars stories that I was like, this is amazing. I feel like comics for me have a bit more of an uphill climb. I don't know.
Yeah. These are pretty easy. Okay.
Are you organizing them into difficulty?
No, I don't know. I just make random piles of things. Pile of files.
Yeah. I would recommend the comics, though, especially since the Phase 1 comic is done, it's collected. You could probably read through it pretty quickly.
Oh, our food's on the way over here, too.
Nice. Ordered some Thai food for dinner. Well, Steve Boyd has the next super chat. Thank you, Steve. Here to speculate on this rebel vow they've been referencing in Andor. Is this a new thing? Who would have created it? Love the channel. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. We talked a little bit about this last night on the stream, but I have no idea like where it would have started, but
now
it sounds like something Saw or Luthen would start.
I think it was probably Luthen. I think I don't know much about it, obviously. But the fact that they have brought it up at least twice that I can think of. Vel told Mon Mothma, we took a vow. Luthen reminded Lonnie, you took a vow. So I think that there was a group of people that were all like, we're going to work together to take down the Empire. That's way too vague. But I do think we're going to learn more about this vow since they keep on talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems too specific to not follow up on. But it could just be some throwaway line to be like,
yeah,
they're all taking this very seriously.
I mean, you could just say, yeah, we took a vow. I don't think that means we're going to see the origins of that vow. It's just a line. I think what it really is just a line to say that, like, these people are extra dedicated, so much so that they took a vow to do so, but we're not going to see who created that vow and what it sounds like and when it started.
The more they mention it, the more I think, okay, this is important. It's going to come back up.
Maybe we'll hear the vow at some point. Like, Luthen demands someone to say it again to them.
Yeah, like, reaffirm yourself. I could see that.
Every time I hear the words "the vow," I just think of the HBO show that we've been watching.
It could, yeah, me too. It could be something that he gets Cassian to say. So right now, Luthen wants to kill Cassian.
This just came up in some news outlet. It said that Tony Gilroy said that the last words of season 1 were gonna
bring it all together.
What if the last words of season 1 is Cassian saying the vow?
Could be. Like, Luthen right now doesn't trust Cassian fully. Like, he thinks he's outlived his purpose and now has ordered him dead. Obviously, that doesn't happen, so either maybe Luthen dies or Cassian does something to make Luthen really go, like, I thought you were important, but now, like, I see your dedication, so say this vow, join us, blah, blah, blah. And then that could be how Cassian ends the season as part of the Rebel Alliance, even if it hasn't been officially formed yet. Mm-hmm. He is like, I am a rebel. Meanwhile, Cyril is taking, like, he's being admitted into the Empire, and they have him say a similar vow or something, like a little parallel.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
And then looking at chat, I see Jane say maybe Andor will take the vow. Yep. Seems perfect.
Makes sense. We're connecting the dots.
And Chazotron 5000 has the last super chat here. Thank you, Chazotron. Which board games or tabletop RPGs would the main characters of Andor love, and which would they hate? Monopoly for Luthen? What do you guys like?
Cyril's playing Catan, Settlers of Catan.
I'm trying
or
to
maybe
think of
40K.
So he wants a lot of rule and order. So I'm trying to think of something that he'd be furious with Chutes and Ladders, because that's chaos.
Yeah.
It's all random chance. He'd be like, this game is terrible.
Mon Mothma's playing the game of life because she wants a different life. She wants to be able to create her own life.
I could see... We've never played Pandemic, so I don't know how it works, but I could see Luthen playing Pandemic because he's like trying to spread his rebellion like a pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, any of these characters could play Resistance.
Oh, yeah. Seeing them all play Resistance together would be hilarious. I'm trying to think of like the most rules lawyery game that Cyril could play. We gotta text our friend David, who likes to min-max every board game he's ever played, so he would probably...
That sounds terrible.
I'd be like, hey, David, what's your favorite board game? And he'll say this, and I'll be like, that's probably what Cyril would love.
What was it? Twilight of Imperium?
Twilight Imperium, something like that. That takes 12 hours to play.
Takes a long time.
Imagine Cassian and Cyril playing Mario Party together. That's, again, too chaotic. Cyril would break his controller. He couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Daniel S. says, Dr. Quadpaw would be a pro at Operation. If that were true, he would have saved a Nimic.
Oh.
Cyril would play Scrabble. Yeah, like something just very... These are the rules. Here's how they work.
Luthen
I can challenge that word you just played.
Yeah, Luthen would just be playing chess, I think.
Yeah,
Old
that
school,
makes sense.
Like, I'm always 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps ahead of everyone else.
Honestly, the way he treats Krieger's people is, I said it multiple times, he's treating it like a chess game of like, yep, I'll sacrifice these 50 pawns to keep my Bishop Lonnie safe.
Yeah. My Bishop Lonnie.
My Bishop Lonnie.
That's the spin-off show, the sitcom.
We got it. Eric, I know. Dr. Quadpaw tried his best. Oh, Don't Panic VU says Twilight Imperium thanks George Lucas in their dedication page.
Really?
All right.
Huh.
I've never played Twilight Imperium because I've heard it takes like 12 hours, and I tap out at 2 hours. If a board game takes longer than that, I'm over it. Mm-hmm. I can't handle it.
I'm even worse. I'm just like an hour and a half? No thanks.
Yeah.
But I'll play Mysterium.
It depends on the game, you know, like if it's a social, especially a co-op game, that feels pretty good to play.
We brought up board games in our last POV, certain point of view.
You just made me think of something. Go ahead.
In our last a certain point of view Q&A that we recorded for the Patreon over there, and I brought up Mysterium, I brought up Quacks of Quedlinburg, and they were like, what are you saying?
I think Mon Mothma would love Mysterium because it's about like trying to get secret messages across, kind of like we have to communicate but we can't do it openly. But also it's a cooperative game.
She also acts as almost a ghost of herself in some ways that if you haven't checked out Mysterium, it is so fun.
Really fun.
Especially if you have a more like artistic leaning side of thinking. It's so good.
Jane, we have not played the new Clone Wars Pandemic, but we have it.
We own it.
We did buy it. So we need to play it. That'll be our first Pandemic experience, I think.
I think we'll have to go to Slam Sector's headquarters to play that for the first time.
I think that's a good idea. Darth Nicholas sent in another super chat. Thank you, Nicholas. Do you think Boba Fett was responsible for Owen and Brew's deaths and that Darth Vader's no disintegrations requirement referenced that event? I personally don't buy it. I think it's a fun headcanon thing. People have thrown that idea around before. But no, I don't buy it either.
I don't think that was the intent of the story, no. Because Boba Fett wasn't around in A New Hope. I think they just wanted to get the point across that the stormtroopers were scarier than we were meant to believe.
Yeah, I think that it was meant to be stormtroopers. I think we were meant to see that this is the horror of the Empire and what they will do. I think that's more effective than Boba Fett being ordered by the Empire to do it, and then the Empire being like, "Whoa, Boba Fett, like that's too much."
Yeah.
If people like that headcanon, it doesn't bug me, but
no disintegration.
but I agree, I don't buy it. Okay, we've hit all of our super chats. We've been going for almost 2 hours. Hit me with some trivia, and then we can go get dinner.
All right, this is Lord of the Rings trivia.
Right, Lord of the Rings trivia. Let's see how rusty I am, but I think
what colors are the horses Éomer gives to the Fellowship trackers on the plains of Rohan?
White and brown.
I don't need an explanation.
Their names are Hasufeld and Arod.
I don't need
That's
that.
all I was gonna say.
Who is accused of leechcraft and thrown down the steps of the Golden Hall?
Grima Wormtongue.
How many candles are on the chandelier that Gandalf bumps into at Bag End? I picked this one on purpose.
Yeah.
And our food is almost here, so this is good timing.
4. 5.
6.
Damn it.
Wow.
It's too many candles for a hobbit.
What city did Boromir single-handedly vanquish the enemy in, according to Denethor?
Oh my god. Minas Tirith. Minas Ithil. Starts with an O. Osgiliath.
You sounded out of breath when you answered that.
I hate not knowing things.
What kind of weapons besides his bow does Legolas use to battle the Uruk-hai at Amon-Hem?
His 2 daggers.
Knives.
Whatever.
How many months before shooting did planting begin on the outdoor Rivendell set? 6, 12, or 18? Oh, you get a multiple choice on this?
18 months.
6.
Dang.
Just heard Hilo bark there. According to Frodo, which hobbit can't swim?
Sam.
Who tells Theoden of Gandalf's arrival in the Golden Hall?
Wormtongue. Again.
What shapes are the fireworks that the Hobbit children loved chasing at Bilbo's party?
Oh, butterflies.
It gave you choices, and I'm not going to read the choices
I don't
anymore.
need them. I got them.
Which Middle-earth kingdom uses a golden sun symbol on its architecture and shields?
Rohan?
What does Aragorn fall into after the Rohan refugee attack?
A river? / cliff / ravine? I don't know.
What cast member starred in Creature Features as Dracula and Frankenstein's monster?
Christopher Lee.
Who falls face down into the water of the dead marshes?
Frodo.
Who is the son of
Ecthelion.
Ecthelion?
Denethor. Hail Denethor, son of Ecthelion, lord and steward of Gondor.
Where does Gandalf say Theoden has dwelt too long?
The Shadows?
A lot of these are giving multiple choice, and I hate it. Where does Legolas offer a blessing for Merry and Pippin?
At the Uruk-hai burned pile of bodies.
I need an exact location. It gives you 3 options.
Right outside of Fangorn Forest.
What is that called?
Okay, give me multiple choice.
On the Rohan Plains, in Fangorn Forest, or at Amon-Hen?
On the Rohan Plains.
Okay. What twosome fight a long, diving Midair duel as they fall together?
Gandalf and the Balrog.
What Hobbit character is played by actress Laurie Dungy?
Rosie Cotton?
I don't even know if you know this name.
Let me go. Is she a Sackville Baggins? I'm just trying to think
I don't
of...
think so. It's Mrs. something.
Oh. I remember him talking to her and being like, "Are all these children yours? Good gracious, you have been productive." Is it Bracegirdle?
Yeah. Oh my God. According to Frodo, what is Gandalf's official label in Hobbiton?
Disturber of the peace.
I love that guy that gives him a dirty look.
Proud feet.
What metaphor does Gandalf use for his drawing the evilness of Sauron from Theoden?
I shall draw you like poison is drawn from a wound.
Yeah. Exactly that.
I don't know why I'm better at Lord of the Rings quotes than Star Wars quotes.
Oh my God. How is Frodo wearing the ring when Bilbo sees it in Rivendell?
On a chain around his neck.
Who falls off an ent in Fangorn Forest?
Who falls off?
Who falls off?
I don't remember. It's got to be... Oh, Pippin. It's Pippin. I knew it was Pippin or Merry, but I had to remember the scene. And then he gets caught.
Mm-hmm.
Treebeard catches him.
Who kills the first Uruk-hai that reaches the top of the Deeping Wall?
Gimli.
You weren't sure about that one.
No, I was not positive.
Which actor took it upon himself to wash and repair his own costume during filming?
Sounds like a Viggo Mortensen thing to do.
That's it. I think you only missed one of those, and it was a stupid chandelier question.
I didn't know the Bracegirdle one. The
Yeah,
most
you did.
prominent. I mean,
Oh,
I knew the name, but I guessed Rosie Cotton.
I gave you misses, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, time for Lord of the Rings Explained.
That's Ashton's job. I don't want to do that. Or Nerd of the Rings. Nerd of the Rings has that on lockdown.
All right, our food's here.
All right. Well, we're going to go get dinner. That was good. Nice long stream for the LEGO streams. But thank you all for hanging out with us.
Because we won't be here next week.
That's true. Or the week. Okay, so this is going to be the last LEGO stream in a while. Because there are 2 Star Wars trivia contests next week out at bars. So we're doing one on Tuesday and one Thursday. The week after that is Thanksgiving. The week after that, we're going to go on vacation after Andor's over. I think we'll be back the week after that.
But, I don't know, next week we might do an earlier stream.
We could, maybe. We'll see. But you built this so fast, I don't know what to build now. I still have some sets. But, yeah, we might do one next week. We'll see.
I think we could probably swing an early stream.
We'll see. Depends on how much Andor stuff gets thrown our way. But thank you all for hanging out. Have a great rest of your night, and may the Force be with you.